The Girl Who Painted the World. The day the colors vanished from our world, silence fell heavily. I saw the last rainbow flicker and die above my village. My little sister's red hair turned a dull, lifeless gray. A single, glowing feather landed softly in my open palm. It pulsed with a faint, warm light I could still feel. I knew I had to find the source of this magic. The feather tugged my hand towards the forbidden, murky, whispering woods. No one ever returned from that dark, tangled place alive. But I had to be brave for my sister and everyone. I packed a small bag with some bread and a water flask. I did not look back at my fearful, gray village. The shadowy trees swallowed me, and the last bit of color whole. Inside the woods, sounds were muffled, and the air felt thick. The feather's glow was my only comforting guide in the gloom. Strange, shimmering eyes watched me from between the twisted, dark trees. I heard a soft, pitiful sob coming from a thorny bush. A small, fuzzy creature was trapped tightly by the cruel vines. Its fur was the only bright blue I had seen for days. "Please, can you help me? I am stuck," the creature whimpered softly. I carefully used my pocket knife to cut the thick, nasty vines. He sprang free, shaking his little body and grinning widely. "I'm Pip. You are the first human to help in ages." He said a wicked sprite had stolen all the world's color. She kept it locked away in her towering, icy crystal palace. The chroma sprite's heart grew cold, so she stole all warmth. Pip explained that she was lonely, not truly evil or mean. We need to show her the true power of friendship. I agreed to help, and Pip became my faithful guide. We journeyed deeper into the woods, towards the distant, cold mountains. The feather in my hand glowed a little bit brighter now. We reached the bottom of a tall, treacherous, winding cliff face. The quickest way is up, but it is also dangerous. I took a deep breath and began the difficult, scary climb. Pip used his wings to point out the safest handholds for me. Halfway up, my foot slipped on a loose, wet stone. I dangled by one hand over a terrifying, deep, dark chasm. Pip bravely dove down, his small body pushing my arm upwards. I managed to grab a strong, sturdy root just in time. We both finally reached the top, completely exhausted but safe. Before us stretched a vast, gray, and completely silent valley. In its center stood a glittering, cold, and lonely ice palace. No birds sang, no wind blew. It was utterly still. The massive, icy gates of the palace were sealed completely shut. No amount of pushing or pulling would make them budge even slightly. "We need to find another secret way inside this fortress," Pip whispered. We searched the perimeter and found a small, dark air vent. It was a very tight, cramped, and frightening squeeze for us both, but we finally tumbled out into a grand, empty hall. The hall was filled with swirling, trapped colors inside solid ice. They pulsed weakly, like forgotten, captured hearts, beating very slowly. In the center of the room, on a cold throne, she sat. The chroma sprite was beautiful, but looked deeply sad and lonely. She held a glowing, multicolored orb tightly in her pale hands. "You dare to steal from me?" Her voice echoed, sharp as ice. "We are not here to steal anything from you, great sprite." I bowed low, trying to show her respect and not fear. "We came to ask you to return the colors to the world." She laughed a cold, hollow laugh that held no joy. "The world is careless and ugly. It does not deserve them." She pointed a finger, and icy spikes shot from the floor. We dodged the sharp, dangerous spikes, scrambling behind a large, frozen pillar. "We have to get the orb without hurting her," I whispered. Pip nodded and hatched a quick, clever, and daring plan. He would create a distraction while I tried to reason with her. Pip flew out, doing loop-the-loops and singing a silly, funny song. The sprite looked surprised, then almost smiled for a single second. I stepped out from my hiding place with my hands open wide. My world is not perfect, but it is our precious home. I told her about my sister's laugh and the sunny, warm meadows. I described the vibrant green leaves and the deep, blue ocean. Her stern, cold expression began to soften just a little bit. A single, glowing tear traced a path down her icy cheek. Everyone forgot about me. The world moved on without any care. She spoke of a time when people celebrated her with great festivals. Now, no one remembered her name or her important, old magic. She had taken the colors so people would feel her loss. Being alone is the coldest feeling in the entire world, she cried. You do not have to be alone anymore, I said kindly. We can be your friends, if you will let us try. Pip landed on my shoulder and nodded his head in agreement. Friendship is a color stronger than any other in existence. The sprite looked at our honest, hopeful, and sincere faces for a long time. Then she slowly, hesitantly, held out the glowing, magical orb. As she placed the orb in my hands, a warm light erupted. It shot out through the walls, melting all the cold ice. The trapped colors burst free, swirling around us in a joyful dance. They streamed out of the windows and across the gray, silent valley. The sprite's own form began to glow with a soft, warm light. Her pale blue dress turned into a brilliant, vibrant rainbow. We ran outside to watch the magnificent, spectacular rebirth of color. Green spread across the land like a soft, living, breathing carpet. Flowers of every possible hue bloomed instantly in a beautiful riot. The sky above us turned a brilliant, breathtaking, and clear azure blue. The sounds of birds and buzzing insects returned to the air. The world was whole, beautiful, and wonderfully loud again. The chroma sprite, whose real name was Iris, smiled brightly. It was the first real, genuine, and happy smile in centuries. Thank you for helping me remember what I had forgotten completely. She promised to never again take the colors from our world. I will tend to them and protect them from now on. Pip did a happy little flip in the newly colorful, warm air. Iris opened a beautiful, shimmering rainbow portal back to my village. Visit anytime you wish. You will always be welcome here, my friend. I stepped through the portal, holding the now dormant, warm feather tightly. I emerged right at the edge of my own familiar, small village. And I was not the only thing that had returned home safely. The color flooded back into my world with a joyful, loud rush. The thatched roofs glowed golden, and the sky was brilliantly blue. I saw my sister running towards me, her hair fiery red again. Her smile was the most beautiful color I had ever seen. The whole village cheered, their clothes and faces vibrant and alive. We celebrated the return of light and life all night long. I became the keeper of the stories, telling of my adventure. I told them about Iris the Sprite and her loneliness. I told them about brave little Pip and his clever, quick plan. Most importantly, I taught everyone the value of true friendship. We started a new festival to celebrate colors and our friends. The rainbow in the sky now reminded us of kindness. Sometimes, a shower of glowing, multicolored confetti would fall from the sky. It was Iris's way of saying a cheerful and warm hello. Pip would often visit, bringing shiny, new trinkets from his travels. My sister's drawings, full of color, were displayed proudly in our home. The world was not just colorful on the outside anymore. It was filled with more kindness and understanding on the inside, too. I learned that everyone can feel lonely and sad sometimes, even powerful sprites. The solution is never to make others share in your pain. The true magic is found in reaching out with kindness. A simple act of friendship can melt the coldest, hardest heart. It can restore what was lost and heal the deepest of wounds. And it can make the entire world bright and beautiful again. So if you ever see a rainbow that seems to wink, remember the story of the chroma sprite and her lonely heart. Remember that friendship is the most vibrant color of them all. Remember that bravery is not about not feeling any fear. It is about being kind even when you are scared. And it is about sharing your light with those who are in darkness. Our adventure proved that no one is truly alone in this world. There is always someone who cares, who will listen, who will help. You just have to be brave enough to reach out first. And you have to be kind enough to welcome others in. These are the lessons that painted our world with lasting color. These are the lessons that make every day a new adventure. And so, our world shone brighter than it ever had before, not just with color, but with compassion, friendship, and with great hope. Iris, Pip, and I remained the very best of friends forever. We all learned that kindness is the truest magic that exists, and that everyone deserves to see the world in all its wonderful color. They all lived, loved, and colored their world happily ever after.